Oh my gosh, bestie. Hello. Welcome back to this week's episode of Living with Ease. This was almost disastrous because we basically have to record. Okay, now my washing machine's going off. I hope you couldn't hear that. We basically have to record Monday night. We usually don't record until Wednesday, but my little cousin Sophia is coming to visit. I'm picking her up from the airport tomorrow morning. So we're getting on top of things and we're recording very early this week for us, which, you know what, we've been meaning to be recording on Sundays. It just seems to never happen because unfortunately we go out, not unfortunately, but we go out on Saturdays and we're hungover on Sunday, and then every Sunday we're like,
let's do it Wednesday. You know what, we're getting closer though to Sunday.
Yeah, this is Monday.
New record.
So true. This is a new record. Today's episode's going to be so fun. We were trying to figure out what to do, and we wanted to do an episode of like all of our funny moments, but then we just couldn't. Look, I think we're just the two funniest girls on the planet, but it's really hard to like think of your funny moments, and then we were nervous that we wouldn't come off as funny if we did that episode. So stay tuned for that. It may be later, but this week we are going to be talking to you about how like desperately hard we tried to act cool in college, which we will get into, and it is humiliating looking back. It's so cringy, so weird, and
it's almost just like comical.
Yeah,
like all the things we did, and
it's like shocking, and it really just goes to show that like nothing's real. But anyway, weekly updates. My weekly updates, nothing too exciting. Pam, my pet squirrel, and her friends are doing great. I got them another little feeder, and I moved their table to a new section, and I actually think they might be mad at me because one of them pooped on my table today.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah. It made me think like that they're mad I moved their table. But
wait, on the actual table?
On the table on our porch, which is not a table they even ever go on. Pam will just go there sometimes when I leave food there by accident. And it was definitely squirrel poop.
You started drama.
Yeah. So I don't really know what to do about that. I don't want to upset Pam, but look, they were making a huge mess on our table, and now that it's getting warmer out, we're going to be wanting to eat there as well, and it's hard to eat when there's well, I used to get bird seed, but that's my update. I've switched to squirrel seed now that it's I just know I'm not going to have birds. So that's my update number one. Update number two, as I said, my little cousin Sophia is coming to visit tomorrow. She's in middle school, and I'm so excited for her to get here. I'm going to try to make it just the most epic visit for her ever. So if you have any ideas, by the time you're listening to this, she'll be going home.
Yeah.
Never mind. Third update, this is just like funny tea. So I told you how basically I have like a few people on a list that are like people I allow myself to drunk text, and I'm like, these are people I can drunk text and I don't feel embarrassed in the morning. There are a lot of people I can drunk text and feel humiliated about. So I like now know I'm like, okay, if I need to text someone, there's a few men on the list. One of them being you know who, and this was just funny. So I like don't have any intentions of ever seeing this man again. I quite literally don't want to, but I just get a lot of validation from like he's great with his words.
My mom's gonna be like, who?
So true. He's just great with his words, and when you need a little confidence boost, he's there to give it. I texted him on Saturday night, and he is in New York right now on tour, and he texted me back offering to fly me to him, but I declined because while that may sound like it would be fun, that would be the most miserable trip of my entire life. So no way in hell am I. If I would have done it, I would have already been there. He didn't respond when I declined his offer. But like, also it's just like, what the hell are you doing? Not to be like rude, but you can't find someone to hook up with in New York. You need to. I mean, maybe he likes my company specifically, but we haven't seen each other in months. It's just strange. Like,
Strange, man.
Anyway, so I guess those are like my major updates of the week. I have 2 wounds on my hands right now, on my thumb, and I burned my Well, actually, my thumb. I've got a cut on my thumb and a burn on my thumb.
Wait, it's way deeper than I thought.
Yeah, of course. It was a deep cut.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I hadn't seen it in the flesh. Wow.
Yeah, it's not
great. That's making me queasy.
Okay, well, it's on my hand.
You should put a Band-Aid on.
And it's good for it to breathe.
True. Wait, that happened tonight?
That happened yesterday when I was cleaning the table and I cut myself with scissors.
Ow.
Yeah, yesterday I was cleaning the table. It's not an exciting story. I was just cleaning out Pam's bird seed from the table.
Okay.
I was using scissors and then the scissors slammed into my thumb.
The thing she does for Pam.
I do so much for Pam. It's crazy. So.
That's actually shocking. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
on to your updates.
Yes, I have a couple of exciting ones actually. Well, not that exciting, but
I'd
basically
say pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that one. But my first one is that we have been obsessed with this song, "Two Most Wanted," the Beyonce. Well, I guess I've been obsessed, but we've been listening to it. Beyonce and Miley Cyrus. I can't stop listening to it. It actually reminds me of the music from Daisy Jones and the Six.
You said that. I haven't watched that because I told you I want to read the book before I watch it, and I still haven't read it.
Great show. But no, I am like so obsessed with it. But even more exciting is that it's officially April, which means
April Fool's
album, April 19th.
Yeah.
That's not an April Fool's joke, but also April Fool's. Wait, did you do April Fool's prank?
Yes, I did multiple.
Any success?
None. I told my mom that I got a DUI because we went to a party in WeHo, and then I thought I was good to drive home at 5 a.m. and I wasn't. And I told my dad that I got disbarred before I was actually admitted into the bar association because of my behavior on TikTok. No one believed me.
You know, when I was little, I had this like chapstick that I switched out my dad's chapsticks for that made your lips bright pink, and he actually went into the office like that. And then my other update, if you watched last week's episode, I had connected with a man from 10 years ago, essentially. Not that I like know him, but I like had worked with him 10 years ago.
For a week.
Briefly. And yeah, because the connection, if you will, expires within 10 days, I decided to just message him.
This was nuts.
And we've got quite the combo going. He asked me to get drinks that night, and then I said I couldn't.
Can I interrupt? You're leaving out a huge, crucial part. You messaged him, and how long did he take to message you back?
Probably like a minute.
Not even.
Yeah.
That's unheard of on Raya, first of all.
Well, that's why I'm like, is that a red flag?
No, he's been waiting for you to message him.
No, it was a really good conversation. Like, I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to get drinks, and then we'll have another update next week.
Oh my gosh.
Simple as.
Yeah, that's epic as hell.
Yeah.
Any other updates, or ready to just
I think ready to jump into
get rolling?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, I think we need to preface this by just explaining to you. We went to, and if you're listening to this and you go to Suffolk University, I feel like you understand. Yeah. We went to a college in Boston called Suffolk University. First of all, we transferred in, so the opportunity to like make friends and like fit in and have a group had already expired and gone away. That was not even possible. Like,
also, the thing about Suffolk that I wanted to add is that it's not like a traditional campus. It's literally just in like downtown Boston, I guess.
They like to say that Boston is your the city is your campus.
Exactly, which I ended up loving, but it's very difficult transferring into and not having like campus activities or living in dorms or like we both lived in apartments that weren't affiliated with the school, etc. So it's very hard to meet people. Yeah.
And add to that basically the school, if you go, you know, is like 90% international students that are not even like a little bit wealthy, like unbelievably like unheard of wealthy, like wealth you can't even imagine. And when you already are struggling to fit in, let's just say it makes you feel even weirder when everyone around you is like their father is the prince of whatever, you know what I mean? So we let that get to our heads a little bit too much, and we tried a little bit too hard to fit in, and we dated a few guys who were just like, we wanted to impress them.
We just wanted to be part of the squad.
We wanted to be part of the squad, and we thought we had to like act a certain way, which is weird as hell looking back. Like we were just...
It's so interesting to think about.
It's very interesting. But look, all this to say, like, seriously, nothing you see is real. Like, I mean, that's now, I will say my social media is very real and, like, probably too real, because people are always like, why the hell did you share that? And I'm like, don't say that. I already feel like uncomfortable enough. But, like, back in the day, my social media, like, really depicted a false life just because I wanted to seem cool and fit in. But I feel like we can all relate to that here. And, like,
yeah, for sure.
I think that's such a part of, like, growing up is, like, doing stupid things and, like, realizing, like, now I, like, have no desire to come off as cool. Like, especially now that even, like, that we've left WeHo, like, I just have this, like, like, I do not care.
Yeah. Not to be cliche, but
yeah,
actually.
it's so cool to just be yourself. And, like,
and that's
who
the thing,
the hell
like, we were
cares?
just trying to be like these, like, some other people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, we thought it was the best version of ourselves.
We were trying to emulate them, but we just weren't them. So I made a list of, like, a few of the most weird and embarrassing things that we could think of that we did while we were at Suffolk. Starting off with, so a lot of these, our peers would take, like, trips all the time to, like, New York for the night and, like, stay in these, like, stunning, beautiful
or
hotels,
they had, like, apartments
and, like,
there.
or they'd have houses, apartments there, like, yeah, oh yeah, we stayed.
Remember we stayed.
Yeah, one night we did
I
stay.
don't even remember how
Yeah, I forgot about that because we ran into them at one okay thing.
Again, this gets into it.
Anyway, so Celia and I, like, could not be spending money. Like, neither of us had. Cleo.
Also, might I add, we thought we were above Boston at this point.
Yeah, we did.
That's why we were doing this, because all the other guys were, like, going in to New
we
York.
thought,
so
like,
we were like, oh, of course we have to be going into New York.
Yeah, it was. I think that's, like, even what led
Which
me
is, like,
to literally
shocking.
go to law school in New York, which is so, like, it was just so. So anyway, Celia and I, like, couldn't afford as college students to go stay in New York for the night. Like, we couldn't just, like, get there. So first of all, like, all these other kids had, like, cars and, like, things they could take and park and, like, or fly. Celia and I would take the Greyhound bus from South Station
in our full outfits for the night.
We would be completely,
which we would go shopping for prior to. Like, we would get whole new outfits.
Yes, and we would be decked out, like, in, like, heels. We'd have, like, we'd bring our makeup in our bags, and
coat, like,
and the reason we were completely dressed and ready to go was because we could not bring any luggage with us. We just bring a little tiny purse that could fit, like, a little probably touch-up makeup. Did we even bring all our makeup?
No, because I remember I put, like, a beauty blender in there, which is so disgusting. And when we'd arrive, I don't know why we didn't, like, plan the timing better, because we wanted to make the most out of our time in New York, I guess. We'd get there, like,
11
in the middle
a.m.
of the day, or early morning, late morning, early afternoon, and we would just, like, find ways to spend our time. Like, we'd go sit and, like...
Because what we have not said to you yet is that we would not book a hotel or have any place to stay in New York because we couldn't afford to do so. So we would just go to New York with nowhere to stay, and we would either pull an all-nighter, or if we got really tired, we would find a place to stay.
I was just going to say, I think in the very, very back of my mind, my cousin does live in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So I think I told myself, like, it's fine if anything.
If there was, like,
an
emergency.
Happen.
Yeah, it would be very awkward.
Because it would be so far out of the... It wouldn't be awkward. It's just so far off the...
I would feel bad, though, to, like, wake your cousin up at 3 a.m.
I just feel like we always told ourselves, like, oh, yeah, that could be an option.
Yeah, I agree.
But...
Sorry, but yeah,
it never happened.
So I mean, that was so, and, like, also we would never post that we were taking the bus there because, like, none of our,
why would we?
Yeah. We would, like, privately go on the bus. That was, like, and then we'd
be like, oh, you're also in New York this weekend?
Yeah.
I'll be showing up. We'd be like, oh, we're also in New York this weekend. How funny. Didn't even know you'd be here.
What a coincidence. And then we would, like...
We'd be like, we have plans XYZ here.
Yeah. And so then we would be going to... And this is why I think it's, like, if you don't live in New York, and I'm sure LA is the same, but we didn't go here when we were in college. But, like... And Miami, yeah. I'm sure LA is the same. But... in New York, it is so easy if you are a girl to look like you are like just living the most epic life, because all you've got to do is find a promoter, and they practically, I mean, in Miami, they literally approach you on the beach. In New York, they'll send you a DM. And we had like one of our favorite promoters, and he would do the Tao Lavo nights. So we'd get to New York, we'd walk around in our heels until we were like in so much pain.
Until it was an appropriate hour to meet up with them.
Yeah, because we didn't want to act. Yeah,
they'd have a pre and then.
Well, I was gonna get to the point too, though. Like, we would like go into Sephora and like I spray perfume on ourselves,
so true.
And then like just like really try to, like, it was not enjoyable at all. But of course, then we're like taking photos, like posting, like we are just having
the best.
I remember I felt really cool that one time we like ate in the Macy's restaurant, but like we got like barely anything, and like we just wanted to post.
Oh my God, I do.
We posted like 5 pictures there. Yeah. So
probably because we were just like, where else can we go? So we were just stumbling around Macy's. Something like, was it Macy's? I feel like it's something other.
No, it was Macy's. They surprisingly have like a really, no shade to Macy's, but like they have a really nice restaurant there. So yeah, then we would pull up to Tao dinner, which would usually start at like not until like 9 p.m.
What was the other place? The French place?
La Prive. And where would we go after La Prive? Because was that Lavo too? I feel like there was a different club we'd go to after there.
It was different. Was it One Oak? Because it was
Oh, maybe it was One Oak.
I think it was.
One Oak doesn't even exist in New York anymore. How crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's gone. But anyway, the whole point being, we'd go to these promoter dinners. They wouldn't start until 8 or 9. So we would be wandering for hours prior, just waiting and like acting like we had other things to do. Yeah. We'd get to the promoter dinner, and it's just a table. Basically, the way they work, it's like a table full of like a bunch of girls that like don't know each other. And who are often quite rude to us. It's not a friendly crowd. No, and
because a lot of them like live, I mean, actually all of them aside from us probably lived in New York.
Yeah, but even so, I just feel like a lot of them were like models who lived in like model housing, who would get like their living situations paid for free for going out and being like seen with the promoters. So anyway, it was just it's very it was a weird scene. And so then we would go to the dinner, and then we would like obviously post like, oh yeah, like eating at Tao. But the way we would post our pictures, like we would never tag the promoter. We would never.
I almost want to pull it up. I remember so vividly like posting what was it? I think like the waiter had like poured a bunch of wine in my glass, and I was like, when the waiter, something like glass half full or something. Yeah. But like I was making it seem like we were getting all this special treatment. No,
that reminds me too of like really one time when I met that man who gave me chlamydia. That was at PhD, and there were like at our table there were these Moët glasses, and so they weren't filled. There was no Moët for us to drink at the moment. But so we just picked up the Moët glasses because we thought they were so cool.
We were making all these videos.
Yeah, we took like 1 million videos with them, and there was no. And you can honestly, like, looking back at my Snapchat memories to those videos, you can tell there's nothing in them.
I felt so cool posting that video. I remember like vividly.
Me too.
I felt on top of the world. I had that huge, I was
the orange jacket.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I mean, we would, then after dinner, of course, we'd go to the club. And in New York, you can stay at a club until 4, 5, 6 a.m. So I think that was also like, it's like if we couldn't get home, we'd really just, I think, has there been a night where we've stayed at the club all night? I can't remember.
I don't really think
so. Well, no, actually. So actually one night, the night that we basically did was the night I went home with the man who gave me chlamydia, and then you came like an hour later and you slept on his couch, and he told us that we had to be silent because his mom was in the other room, even though he was like a 28-year-old man, and it wasn't even a real wall. It was a what are they called? Flex wall. Yeah. So that's one time we slept somewhere, and another time my mom and I had booked a trip to like one hotel to do my law school tour because it was in Brooklyn. And for some reason we couldn't go. So I like begged my mom to let us use the credit. And oh my God, the night we had that one hotel room, I mean, I felt...
The post we did.
Yeah, the post we did. I mean, we felt unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a happy night.
That was a really happy night. But yeah, and then I don't know, that was just so weird. Like, I mean, the nights were fun-ish, but I just know like the bus ride back, like our feet would be swollen from wearing heels for like 18
Actually, it was fun in the
hours.
moment. We were just living in the moment, but it was just like all such a, like, we just wanted it to seem such a way to our friends at school.
No, I know. And the one time that like our friends were there and we stayed at their place, like I feel like we met them at One Oak and like we definitely did not tell them. Like I think we must have texted them and been like, oh, like we're going to One Oak, but it wasn't like we're going to One Oak with a promoter.
Yeah.
But I mean, you feel so cool when like you don't realize you can like do these things and then all of a sudden like you skip the line and you have a table and all these fancy bottles. Like it feels good. But also
it's a certain era.
the problem with like promoter tables too is often you can't leave the table. Like they get really upset if you leave the table. So like you are stuck at this table. I mean I definitely have been scolded one too many times for leaving the table. Like it's not really like an opportunity to go out and meet men because you have to. I mean the one time I met a man is because he didn't tell me he was a promoter, but he was.
Are you serious?
I mean, he's friends with all the promoters. I don't think he's like specifically a promoter, but he's in the promoter scene.
That's so interesting.
Like, I think he probably does it on the side. I mean, he's a real estate agent.
Yeah, so
of course.
It's so true.
Yeah. Okay, here's another pretty embarrassing one. And like, I'm going to be honest, actually. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think we were going to let this just like slide over and pretend like, oh, yeah, this was in college. This wasn't in college. This was after I had graduated or after I had finished my first year of law school. So
which one?
The 1942 bottle of 1942 one.
Yes.
I'd love to pretend that that was in college, but we were actually 22 when we did this. So, but I was still reeling from a breakup from my college boyfriend who I was trying to impress.
I think the reason I got it for you is because it was during like the 2020 COVID era, and Jenner was always posting like TikToks with it.
Yes, that's why we got it, because we thought.
I feel like that's why.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like, yeah.
Yeah. No, of course, but it still was just trying to be cool. And the reason this was so basically Celia, for me finishing my first year of law school, got me a bottle of 1942. And let me just tell you, we did not drink any of that 1942. We literally just like, that was like the sisterhood of the traveling tequila. Like
I feel like we each might have had like a sip and then we're like, that's all we can have.
Yeah, no, I remember one time, I think this is still posted on my Instagram, you can go and look at it. I'm like sitting in my backyard and like I need to see what I made the caption. No, we got so many photos with this.
No, and it's all the same bottle. That's like the shocking part.
Let me see what I captioned this photo, because it's like, I'm sure I said something weird as hell. Yeah, I said drinks are served, and it's like a picture of me pouring 1942 into a cup with like limes, and it looks like we're like having such a fun day. This day was miserable. Celia came over for like,
I don't remember it being miserable.
Yes, it was. You came
I believe it. I just
you
can't
came
remember
over for like 30 minutes. We weren't even actually hanging out. You had to go home for something.
Oh, it was Memorial Day weekend.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. And so it was June 14th, so that's Memorial Day weekend. I thought Memorial Day's in May.
You might have posted that later though, because my photos from that day are Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, well, oh yeah. Anyway, we were like, basically she came over quickly and we snapped a bunch of photos. I like cut up all these limes, like made everything look pretty, and we were both like stressed trying to get angles. We didn't drink any of it. I think we actually.
Your parents also in the yard.
Yeah. I think we actually poured it back into the bottle.
I don't remember that, but I believe it.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure we did.
Oh my God, and we were devastated. So this bottle traveled with us.
Yeah.
And I remember, because you brought it when we went to Nantucket and we were making all these TikToks, which by the way.
We made so many TikToks
YouTube,
with it.
We would go like this to the camera with the bottle.
Oh
like
my
really
God.
Showing the bottle to the camera.
Yeah.
And then we were devastated because we came upstairs and it had leaked. Remember? It had like spilled.
No, you knocked it over. It didn't. It hadn't. You knocked it over.
Oh really?
Yeah.
We have different memories.
Well, you don't really have much of a memory.
Yeah, so true.
No, you knocked the bottle over, and so then after we no longer had any tequila left,
it wasn't fully gone though. Like, I know for
it
a
was
fact.
almost gone though.
I think we just felt that way because we hadn't really drank any of it, so we were kind of pissed off.
Well,
I don't
then
think
what
it was fully
happened to
gone.
it?
I don't know,
Because-
but I promise you it wasn't fully gone. We did take sips of it. I know for a fact. Like, no, I'm serious. Whenever we were in the mood, we definitely did.
Okay. The funny thing is too, like, as I've just side note, as I have like now because of like TikTok and like actually can like get things, like I'm not going and buying 1942 all the time, but now that I can, like, I remember I had a bottle of 1942 like last year and I hated it. Like
Really?
I hate 1942. Yeah, because it's whatever the hell it's called. It's not Blanco, it's Reposado, and I hate like I don't like the taste of it. So like yeah, we didn't even anyway. So then we started lugging around this like basically empty bottle of 1942 for photos and trying to get pictures where it didn't seem like it was empty.
I could even see us like putting water in it, but I don't think we did. But
the only reason I think it was empty is because I know I posted a photo where it was empty, and that was on Nantucket.
Oh.
And I was worried you could tell it was
just
empty.
Like, F it, let's finish it.
No, I think it all spilled, bro.
Okay, maybe that's true.
I really am almost positive it all spilled.
Yeah.
But that's just another
that's
like
karma, I guess.
Yeah. That's just another. Yeah, we never even got to enjoy the bottle. We just like we probably each had like we would take baby sips.
Yeah.
So I mean that's humiliating, but. Back to college, because at least this is more comfortable to talk about because it was further away. So my boyfriend and all of his friends, and I think most of our peers at school, all lived in like these luxury buildings with doormen and like ultra luxury. And not that our apartments were bad, but they were just like normal college apartments, like basement apartments. Like
we actually were so excited when we first found
were
it, and we
so
thought it was
excited.
so cute, and then we met them.
Yeah, and we had like mice and centipedes, but not for long, and like it was just like a little.
That's normal though.
Yeah, that was exactly. It was just like a normal college. It wasn't.
It was actually very sweet. It
was
just in the
very
basement,
sweet,
which caused a lot of issues.
Yeah.
In terms of creatures.
And people breaking in while I am asleep alone at home.
Yeah, but the interior looked nice. Like, it was cute.
Anyway, point being, this was not like, it was a nice, sweet college apartment, but it was nothing like luxury like all these other people were living in.
This guy that you liked, I remember his...
Oh my gosh.
He had like some penthouse, multiple...
He had a smoking lounge. He had custom Goyard wallpaper in all the bathrooms.
Like entirely interior designed. Like multiple levels in his apartment.
He would throw these crazy parties where he'd hire a DJ and like.
I mean, like we're not making it clear enough.
It had like 30-foot ceilings. He lived in the same building as most of the NBA players live in Boston, except he had like the nicest one there. Like I mean,
point made. I'm just saying, like,
no. So
you can understand why we'd be a little self-conscious.
Yeah, we were just a little self-conscious. And so anyway, because we didn't have a doorman and we didn't live in this like luxury building, when people would ask where we lived, we literally like would not tell them.
Oh, in Fenway.
Yeah. And then they'd be like,
oh, this building?
Yeah, I remember so many times they'd be like, what building do you live in Fenway? And I'd be like, oh, it's like over there. Yeah. Like, because like that's the thing, everyone lived in a building. Like we didn't live in a building.
They'd call them by their names.
That has like a name. Like we just lived in 105 Peterborough Street. Like it wasn't
that was very specific.
Well, it's because someone who follows me lives in our apartment. Did I tell you that?
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Actually,
yeah. What were you gonna say?
No, go on.
I was just gonna say, and remember there was a place across the street called Thornton's, and at one point, he said like, "Oh, I'm gonna be at Thornton's. It's in Fenway near you," or something.
Oh my god!
And you just like didn't answer his text.
Yeah, no. There were multiple times where I'd be talking to men, and they would be in the area. One of them stopped talking to me, I think, because they were so weirded out by me like not ever being around when he was in the area. And I would put my phone, like I would turn it off, I'd freak out, and I would just like sit in my room and then wait until enough time had passed that
you could leave.
Yeah. And then I could answer them and be like, so sorry, like I was sleeping.
Yeah, that's so wild. Like if we had just been ourselves, it probably would have been fine.
Actually, when my boyfriend did come to our apartment for the first time, he did make the comment that he was very shocked and disturbed.
Okay. See, this is what we were dealing with.
Yeah. Like I will never forget, because when he came to like my parents' house, he was like, wow, your parents' house is actually nice. I'm surprised because I mean, when I went to your apartment, I was very disturbed and shocked.
That's so rude.
Yeah,
Our
I know.
apartment was actually very cute.
Yeah, it was so cute. We had a little red couch. This is like one of the last major things. You remember this one, so if you want to explain, this is like.
I mean, yeah.
You were worried we were gonna get arrested. It's not. Celia said she thinks you can't get arrested for this. It's just maybe a bit immoral.
Really, yeah, it's a bad look.
It's definitely
a bad.
It's
what we had to do.
This was in college.
It's very well. I think I'm just like so traumatized because some stylists buy and return, which is like so taboo. It's like insane. But I mean, I guess that was us in college, but it's different. You're not putting clothes in. Yeah. Anyway, basically every weekend we had to go out. This is like a thing. We would be going out. I mean, we were going out all the time. We've already explained that. Yeah. But every weekend it was like, what are we going to wear? Because we can never repeat an outfit. We would walk from our apartment. If you're familiar with Boston, we lived in Fenway, and we'd walk down Boylston to Urban Outfitters, and then we'd hit Victoria's Secret, and we would buy like these little slips, little dresses.
Oh my gosh.
And
we had Urban such Outfitters a slip era.
Has an incredible return
the
policy.
Most unbelievable return policy.
I don't know if that's changed since, but we used to go like get outfits, then we would wear them out, which is so disgusting, and then return them.
And I remember one night at Steve Aoki, I got caked, and you did too, and we were both so pissed.
Yeah, because I had to keep the slip.
Couldn't return.
Because we couldn't, basically the moral of the story, like we couldn't afford to be buying clothes. Like these people at our school would buy new clothes for fun all the time.
At like Saks.
Yeah, I mean like nonstop. So we were trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Or whatever the saying
And we would just go there. And I mean, how did Urban Outfitters never catch on? Because every single week we were going back and returning.
And I'll never forget when we ran into some of them.
Oh my gosh. And we were
a night out, and I was like frozen. I'm like,
me too. Because like we thought they'd know like what we were
up to.
And like that's like another thing too.
We're like, oh, we're buying something for tonight.
Yeah. That's another thing too. Like I wanted to have a designer bag so badly just so I could fit in that I like sold for like months and months and months. I sold like all these items of clothing on Macari until I finally racked up enough to get a Gucci bag. And like I bought this Gucci bag not because I liked the bag, but because it was the cheapest one. I found one that was like $800, which is still like that was so much. Shocking, I mean, it still is a lot, but like at the time that was like unheard of.
No means or no business doing that.
No business. There was no need to be doing that. And I like then I mean I used that money and that was like another time like half my paycheck from my internship I wanted to impress my boyfriend, and I bought these like $500 off-white pants just because I thought he'd think they were cool, and we were in the store together. And then when I found out the price of them, I was like, oh yeah, he did burn a hole in them. He burnt a hole in them on accident. I forgot. That's why the real probably always sends them back to me.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I forgot there was a hole in them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I always wonder why they always get sent back, and why no one ever not even cross.
So they're just a bit dated. No offense.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Oh, still.
Probably the hole.
Crossroads won't even take. I don't know.
Really?
Yes, really.
That's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hate when they say that. Like, oh, it's not not on brand, but they say like it's not up to this.
They didn't say that to me.
They say that all the time.
Oh.
I used to have to bring stuff for like sales.
They just called me like an absolute idiot and said, "What the hell were you thinking bringing these in here?"
Why?
I don't know. It was very weird. Like this is like a side note. I went to Crossroads and I bought these pants, and the cashier, like, or not, what do you call them? Not the cashier, but the person that's going through the pants. Yeah. Like, I went up and I was surprised they didn't take the pants. So I was like, why? Mm-hmm. Why didn't you take the pants?
Sometimes they just say like, this doesn't align with what we're looking for.
No, they didn't say that.
I feel like you're pranking me right now. It's April Fool's.
I'm not pranking.
Okay, what did they say?
They literally were like, we don't, like, why would you bring these here? They're like nylon pants.
I know you're pranking me. Nice one.
Anyway, okay. Well, I was gonna really like go further, but I could just tell you knew I was pranking you. Anyway, whole point being, nothing you see on social media is real. Except you can trust me now because everything I post is real now. Let me see. Have I posted anything recently that was like pretend? I'm trying to think. Like,
I don't really think so.
let me see.
Have I? I really don't think so.
I don't think so. I must have posted. No, yeah, I think I've been pretty real to my bones lately. I think I've been a little too honest, but yeah.
And also, it is cool to be yourself. It just took us a while to figure that out.
Yeah, that is the whole moral of the story.
Seriously.
I mean,
like,
I guess we already said that, but like,
anyone other than myself.
I wouldn't want to be anyone other than myself, and like, I feel so proud to be me.
Yeah. I think that's just growth. I think like it's obviously when you're in college it's harder.
And you just like you do grow out of these things, and I feel like whether it's like you trying to fit in with wealthy international students or like I mean, I guess this has been a theme of my life because in high school I did drugs just to fit in with other people too, and that also wasn't me. Like it's just like it's such a thing of growing up is just like trying to
I think before
like
you
mesh yourself
comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah. But once you learn to love yourself, you can be yourself. And I mean, what an epic ending to this week's podcast. Seriously. Look, I'm a little embarrassed that we told you all of those stories. But it is, I think, funny looking back and weird looking back.
Yeah,
and
it's on growth.
It's on growth, and we don't do that anymore. No. I don't think.
Oh my god, that sounds
Are we
miserable.
gonna look back on like us now and be like, were we doing anything? No, we're very authentic.
Honestly,
now.
No. Like, I'm not even just saying that. I really don't think so.
No, I don't either.
I mean, not to like put ourselves down, but we were literally children then.
Yeah.
Like that feels
Yeah, we
so
were
long
19,
ago.
20. Yeah.
Just trying to make it in a big world.
Yeah, so true. All right. Well, love you so much, bestie. We are going to hit the hay because it is 10:45 p.m., which is far past my bedtime. So I will see you next week. I love you.
Love you.